That's mine, you can't have it. How often do we say that? How often do we stop other people from using what is ours? How often do we refuse to share what we have? And you can think of many things, from games, computer games, whatever it is, phones, toys, whatever it may be. It's mine, and you can't have it. Then they sometimes then, if your brother or sister takes what's yours, you go running to your mommy and daddy and say, he took my this or she took my that. So we're very careful about what's ours, and sometimes it's very difficult to share. It's very difficult to accept that we have been given things, but they're not just for us. If they can help other people, we should always allow others to have them as well. And this is what Jesus talks about in the gospel just on Sunday last, where he's talking about a man who owns a vineyard, and he employs people to work in the vineyard. But when the time comes to take the grapes from the vineyard, these employees, they won't allow the owner to get them, because they want to own the vineyard, not just work in the vineyard, even though they're getting well paid. And you see, sometimes we can become so selfish, and we can think everything should be for me and just for me. And we can have that attitude too about creation, about the gift of the earth. The gift of all that is in the world today, the beauty of the world, the gift of Brook Park, the gift of our own gardens, the gift of Donegal, all these beautiful, beautiful places. And how do we respond to nature? How do we take care of the gift of creation that God has given us? Do we use it just for our own ends and our own purposes? And then do we just disregard it by throwing litter and doing all of those things? Or do we see it as just that pure gift from God that's not ours, and it's not there just for us, but it's there for everybody, to allow us to see the beauty of God's creation? So this week, I would say it's important. Like last Sunday, we just had the feast of St. Francis of Assisi, who loved creation and who loved animals and who saw God's hand in everything and who celebrated and praised God for all the gifts of the world. This week, how do we respond to the gift of creation? How do we take care of God's beautiful earth and the part of the earth that we are living in? Because it's not ours, it's God's, and he's given it to us for now. But it's up to us to show respect for it by caring for it. So this week, ask yourselves, how do we care for the earth? How do we care for our environment? Do we throw litter? Are we disrespectful? Do we just use things because we want and think that everything's our own? Or do we share, and do we always praise God and thank God for the gifts that he has given us?